Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to welcome you to This Week in Stupid, where we find stupid shit, we make fun of it, we have fun, we laugh, and we move on. All right? Okay.
Simon says, get the fuck up.
It was obviously a mistake, and in hindsight, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, no shit. So Cancun Teddy found himself in hot water recently. It was a shower in Mexico, but I'm not one to judge. The senator from Texas took flight with his wife and 2 daughters to Cancun to get away from the winter storm in Texas, and some people were a little upset.
He shouldn't be leaving the state on a vacation when the rest of us around here freeze. I just got power on after 36 hours. I'm over it. We need some help.
Cindy is rip shit, and I understand, but I disagree with her on this guy leaving the state. As long as he's making the arrangements needed, working remotely.
It had been my intention to be able to work remotely.
If those truly are his intentions, then I just don't think it matters if he's there or not. Like, did you really need him to hand out waters or pat you on the shoulder and tell you everything's gonna be okay?
The moment I sat on the plane, I began really second-guessing that decision.
Yeah, Ted, on the plane, not at your house, right after you bought the tickets. I think the moment you sat on the plane, it clicked. You just walked through an airport with people and cameras and people with cameras. It's truly sad what happened in Texas. It really is. But Cindy strikes me as someone who's really difficult to please anyways. I could be wrong. I doubt it.
I'm over it.
But this guy wasn't going to save you with anything besides his phone. Ted wasn't going to throw his arms up at Mother Nature and freeze her in her tracks and turn her around and make her haul ass. He's not God, you know? Joe's God. Speaking of Joe, what's his crazy ass been up to?
It's one thing to have the vaccine, which we didn't have when we came into office. The nurse, and nurses, but the nurse.
While he's tripping up them stairs, I wish I was falling down them. Good to see Joe still glued together and all there, though.
What do you got for us? 3 new potato pounds.
Who the fuck was in charge of that marketing team? Satan? It don't matter, because the old Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head are about to introduce a new play set without the Mr. or Mrs. It lets the kids create their own kind of families, like 2 moms or 2 dads. So what you're saying is you're finally going to put some extra lips and eyeballs in there? I could have used that as a kid. My potato had no eyes, 1 ear. I'm not mad, I just feel robbed. Talking about getting shot and robbed, Lady Gaga's dog walker caught a bullet with his chest while being robbed for 2 of Gaga's dogs. The walker is expected to make a full recovery. The dogs were also returned safely. Miss Gaga put a $500,000 reward out for the identity of the shooter. I'm just kidding, she never mentions the shooter. The $500 large was for the safe return of her dogs. No questions asked. At least she called the victim a hero. You could rewind that part frame by frame and not find a normal looking shot. He keeps it hideous the whole way. Anyways, that's Bruce. He was charged with OUI and driving recklessly in November, but had the charges dropped this week to consuming alcohol in a closed area. The officer who arrested him pretty much said he was fucked up. But after allegedly failing a failed sobriety test and refusing to blow into the tube, he came around to blowing a tube at the ranger post, blowing a .02. So kick me in the balls if any of this makes sense.
I don't get it.
Me either, Josh. I guess money can fix all. Or you could just start a podcast with a former president.
My father was silent most of the time.
To me, Bruce will forever look every bit of 71 now because of this video. And I ain't really got no problem with old Bomb as a person. Just a couple of renegades. Now it's time for Joe blowing smoke out his ass.
The Ukrainians to help them cheat an election.
My bad, that wasn't your holiness. That was Eric. I don't know if it's real. I do know it's old, but it looks real. Either way, he denies it.
You're claiming this is you? Absolutely not. Yes, total exoneration. Total exoneration.
Well, is it true you were dipping your dick in the soy sauce?
Words of the 21st century philosopher Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
Alright, but we was about to listen to Joe give a hot... Where's Joe? We found him. He was wandering the school halls again. We told him he couldn't do that anymore, but you know how Joe loves the kids.
I like kids better than people.
That's good, though. As much as I don't like the guy, it's good to see he's looking out for the kids.
Kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
That's not what I meant. But without any delay, I present Stories with Joe. This one takes us on a dangerous trip to Kalamazoo.
I was just in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Okay, so the danger was Joe getting out Kalamazoo. But he did. Little stumble to start, nothing crazy.
At the Pfizer vaccine manufacturing facility.
Okay, I gotta give kudos where they are deserved. Joe crushed that.
At the Pfizer vaccine manufacturing facility.
But here comes the novel, of course.
There I met a man when I walked in whose father-in-law was dying of the virus.
Of course you did. In no way am I joking about a man's father-in-law dying. I'm not saying that this conversation didn't happen. But it's all theater. Maybe it's just me, but I've never told a story like at the local Speedway gas and convenience store. There I met a man when I walked in whose purchase of a single tall can of natural ice was 38 cents short.
He was sad. I asked if I could call his father-in-law.
He was sad. I asked if I could talk to the clerk. Honestly, though, here's where the story takes a pretty unpredictable turn.
He said his father-in-law was too sick to speak.
He said the clerk was fed up with my shit. I guess it wasn't all that unpredictable, though.
But then he said, but could I pray for him? Could I pray for him?
But then he said, but could I pray for the clerk? Or could I pay the clerk? He was shit-faced, I couldn't tell. Truth is, I don't know politics. I can't tell you what bill is what or legislation, but I can spot frauds who use bad situations to their advantage, and that shouldn't exist in government. We, the people, deserve better. So I don't want your sad story about COVID or winter storms. Just fix it. It's your fucking job.
Simon says, get the fuck up.
But hey, thanks for coming and hanging for a few. If there's something y'all want to talk about, let me know in the comments. Do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Take it away, Bruce.
We